Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. If you are new to my channel, thank you guys so much for tuning in and for being here, and for all my return subscribers, thank you guys as always for your continued support on my channel. So here we are, another reading focusing on the dating scene. So this is for those of you who are actively dating someone. So we're going to do an energy check-in for your connection and maybe tap into any concerns that may arise, or maybe you're currently going through issues or challenges right now. So let's go ahead and see what presents itself. And there will be a reading for each zodiac sign, so feel free to cross-watch for your person or any other sign that you want to tune into. All right, guys, it is general as always. Please keep that in mind throughout the reading and only take the parts of it that relate to you and your situation and release the rest. All right, guys, let's get into it. Hi there, Aries. All right, let's see what your messages are, starting with the dating scene oracle. I will be pulling 3 cards from this deck. You don't have to identify with each situation unless it presents itself in that way, giving the collective the opportunity to identify with separate cards or the story that's coming through. All right, guys, let's see what needs to come forward here for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. All right, let's grab a card. The very first one, we have strictly physical. Okay, model. Somebody could be really attractive, doesn't have to just be the feminine, it could be a masculine as well. If you are relating to this, maybe when you and your person connected and you guys initially met, it could have started off as just a physical relationship. And maybe there's a part of you that's wondering, can we go beyond that? You know, so some of you guys might be newly dating this person. Maybe it's been either maybe a month, less than 6 months perhaps for some of you. All right, we have touchy-feely. You couple that up with the first message of strictly physical. I mean, the chemistry, the physical attraction certainly is there, but I'm ultimately getting the energy for some of you tuning into this. Can you guys take it beyond just the physical relationship? So the chemistry, when it comes to that, it certainly is coming through. All right, so we've got love struck, divine feminine. So my feminines that are watching this, you could be thinking of a masculine that you're very attracted to. Again, we're focusing on those of you guys that have already connected. You are dating this person, but you're wondering, you know, can this go deeper? This is so interesting. I was only going to grab 3, but I can't help but look at the bottom of the deck and check this out, guys. We have PDA violator. So it's basically a person that isn't ashamed to hug, kiss, touch, you know, public displays of affection, right? Frequent offender. Now, you might be listening to this and maybe divine feminine, that's you. You know, you wouldn't mind holding hands. You wouldn't mind hugging your person, you know, however way this is coming through for you. And maybe your masculine just isn't like that, you know, or it could be the other way around. So that's what's presenting itself here. But I do feel with the love struck divine feminine message, I feel my feminines, your heart is invested in this and you're really wondering, can things really move forward for us to explore other parts of our connection? We already know that the physical part, the intimacy, that's on point. But can we dig a little bit deeper? So let's find out. So let me set these guys aside and I will be grabbing from the scenarios deck. Now this particular deck here, guys, it's upright and reversed. Okay, so it can come up with very different scenarios for different people. Much like a tarot deck where it's got the upright and reversed interpretations. So let's take a look. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aries. What do we need to know here? Look at this, guys. Okay, now it is in the upright. Good night kisses. First date, first kiss, new romance, making out. Which really coincides with what we are seeing. All right, so that's interesting. This could be somebody new that you're currently dating. All right, let's see. Or at least, as I mentioned, less than 6 months, maybe even less than a year. So again, I mean, from the first date, the connection, the physical connection, the attraction, no question, it's there. All right, let's grab another. What else for Aries? All right, so we do have a reversed card here, guys. This particular one represents a Taurus lover, but it is in the reverse. That is how we will interpret this. So this particular card, it's somebody who's lazy, arrogant, egocentric, possessive partner, passive personality, stubborn in love and life. For some of you guys, you might be dealing with a Taurus partner. You know, it doesn't have to be just their sun sign, okay? So Taurus could be present in their chart. But regardless of sign, this could be how your person behaves around you, or it could be a concern that you have. So once we get into the tarot messages, we'll see. All right, let's grab another card for Aries. I am telling you guys, look at this. PDA. That is no mistake. Look at that. 2 different decks. Affectionate, loving couple. I'm also getting, for some of you, maybe in the beginning, your person was more affectionate. You know, they didn't mind the public displays of affection, but maybe something has shifted and changed to where they're not wanting that all of a sudden. And maybe it could be my feminines that are concerned. It's like, what's changed? You know, because I'm really into you. I might even be in love with you. But your masculine might be pulling away for some reason, or they're telling you, you know, like when you guys are out and about in public, they might be saying, you know what, not right now. Or they're just, maybe you're just feeling like they really are pushing you away or keeping you at arm's length. That's so incredibly interesting, the way that that presented itself. All right, so let's grab some tarot, because there's something coming through here that needs attention. And I'm just getting, it could be my feminines that are either feeling something's off. You could maybe be suspecting that someone else is in the picture. So let's clarify that. Hugs and kisses, goodnight kisses, touchy-feely, strictly physical. I mean, wow, guys. Talk about a message that's really wanting to be heard. All right, let's grab some tarot for Aries. Okay, so we're starting off with the 4 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so in the upright, the 4 of Swords can represent rest, restoration, you know, it's contemplation. It could be very healing, but it is in the reverse. So somebody's feeling burnt out here. Somebody's stressed out, or maybe feeling restless. I can't help but feel that maybe Divine Feminine, there's something here that is stressing you out when it comes to your masculine, especially if you are feeling like maybe they're falling out of love, or they're just not as affectionate as they used to be. So you're feeling some concern here. Let's see what else for Aries. Okay, so the Fool card in the reverse. In the upright, it can represent a fresh start, a new beginning. So again, this energy of maybe feeling restless or even reckless at this point. It could be the masculine, you know, maybe they're not exactly thinking or making smart decisions at this point. They tend to be naive when it comes to this type of mentality in the reverse for the Fool card. Maybe Divine Feminine, you feel like your masculine is taking advantage of you somehow. What else do we need to know for Aries? Interesting stuff, guys. We do have the Magician. Okay, for some of you guys, maybe your person is Gemini or Virgo. But the Magician, of course, it's a beautiful card of manifestation between 2 people. You know, maybe Divine Feminine, you see your masculine as your ideal partner. Maybe you feel like your search is over, you're done, you've manifested your love of a lifetime. But we might have a masculine here who's not wanting the same thing. And the next card here, guys, is the Seven of Cups. So while you're focusing on wanting to manifest something solid with your person, Divine Feminine, you might have a masculine who's entertaining other options. That's just a part of the vibe that's coming through here. The next card is the Knight of Wands. So occasionally, the Knight of Wands can be the type of person who's not really looking to settle down. They want to have fun. They want to explore. You know, they could be very adventurous, as we can see here, wanting to see what other options they have there. So you might be questioning your masculine's level of commitment, you know. And we do have the Hangman right here. I can't help but feel for some of you, you might have a relationship here where a masculine might decide to end things, and maybe you're already suspecting that or feeling that. And should that happen, you know, it's one of those things where if somebody wants to be set free, then let them go, because part of their discovery might be that, you know, that grass on the other side isn't so green. Maybe the person that they might find they're attracted to outside of the connection isn't all it's cracked up to be, you know. So it's one of those things where you tighten up, or you're just holding on so much to this person, but they really want to be let go of. They want to be released, or they just want their freedom to explore. So I say, if that's something that you are feeling, something that you're suspecting when it comes to your masculine Divine Feminine, what is that song that keeps popping up for me? It's I believe it's a Sting song. Set them free. If you love somebody, set them free. You know, if they really are meant to be a part of your life, and if they're wanting to stick around long term, if you really do feel that you have found your forever person, well, they have to be on that same trajectory. Look at this. We've got the Ace of Cups. I cannot help but feel that we might have a masculine who's entertaining maybe leaving this partnership and pursuing somebody new. But you know, Divine Feminine, that goes both ways, because if they choose to decide to walk away, that gives you the opportunity to find new love as well. But the Ace of Cups could be very healing also, because it really allows you to fill your cup. You know, maybe you feel like you're running on empty, just trying to hold on to something that needs to be released, you know? Okay, guys, this is what I'm getting. I really do feel you give somebody their freedom to explore other options. You move on with your life. And somewhere along the line, they reach out. They reach out because they know that they messed up. They reach out because they realize, after having explored those options, whatever that might be, that they had what they were looking for all along. Where you're at on your journey could be very different from that person by the time they realize you're the one. Because really, you're not meant to stop living your life. You're not meant to just sit there waiting for this person to figure out that you are their person, that you're meant to be, you know, whatever the case is. And it really does come down to timing. But that's what I'm getting here, guys. You might have a masculine who's thinking about either breaking things off, and or unfortunately, there could be infidelity or trust issues. Maybe that's already happening. So I really feel for my feminines, you know, it's causing you a lot of stress. It's causing you a lot of anxiety, understandably so. You know, the Nine of Swords, the nightmares, it's causing a lot of perhaps inner turmoil. You know, the way you're feeling, the way you're thinking. You could literally be living with your masculine. They could be right next to you, but you could be feeling uneasy because of uncertainties that you are feeling in the relationship. I I'm just ultimately feeling here that there is a conversation to be had. But if they're not completely open to discussing it, then, you know, maybe that could be why you're just feeling restless, uneasy. You want to ask them questions, or you just want the truth and you're not getting it. But here's the thing, feminines, okay? We've got the Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups, intuitive. That's the key word here. You already know perhaps what's going on without your masculine having to say anything. So follow what you're feeling. Follow that gut instinct because it serves you well. So even if they don't fess up to what might actually be happening, you already know. And at the end of the day, you got to do what feels right in your heart. It might be, for my feminines, you decide whether you get your answers or not, that you're going to take matters into your own hands. And it could be you that decides to end things because of something that you're feeling is just a little bit off in your connection. And if they're not wanting to talk about it, they don't have to, but that doesn't stop you from, you know, walking away and just focusing on your inner peace, you know? So I really do feel, since we had this come through, a love-struck divine feminine, this reading really is a message to my feminines to let you know that what you're feeling, what you're thinking is on point. You know, maybe you even felt like, you know what, this is crazy. There might not even be anything happening. And that could certainly be the case for some of you. But I'm ultimately getting from my feminines that your instinct, your heart is telling you that there is something that's off. So you got to follow that and follow your truth. Okay, guys, so that is what I have for you. If you are interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box, as well as the decks featured here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care.